Motorhome news, take one. In this video, I've got the latest motorhome news, including a popular and beautiful campsite closes for good, the new European entry system you need to know about before travelling abroad, and more bans on motorhomes and campervans. Welcome your faces back to Motorhome and Campervan News. I'm Ads, thank you very much for joining me. If you're interested in getting news about motorhoming, campervanning or caravanning, then consider subscribing. And feel free to use the email in the video description to send me news that I may have missed. Motorhome News is brought to you in association with Caravan Radio, radio for the caravan and motorhome community. Listen online at caravanradio.co.uk 24 hours a day or scan this code. And Caravan Radio will be broadcasting live from the Motorhome and Caravan show at the NEC 14th to the 19th of October. So get your show tickets online and use the discount code CRadio at the checkout. Right, on with the news, and a video has appeared on TikTok of a motorhome getting stuck in a narrow street, possibly in Germany. The motorhome looks like an A-class Bursner, and judging by the number plate and style of the bicycles on the bike rack, they appear to be a couple of lost Dutch people. The motorhome is truly wedged in with the front stuck against a concrete wall and a residential building. The motorhome can be seen rocking back and forth as the driver tries to free themselves. Now, a few things cross my mind. First, where are the wing mirrors? Just like a cat's whiskers, a good indication that the gap isn't wide enough is when the wing mirrors start scraping down the sides of the walls. But the wing mirrors don't appear to be visible, meaning they've been removed by the wall and someone's house. The second thing is, at what point do you say that we're not going to fit? How can someone get so far that they didn't consider stopping? One thing that isn't obvious is that they can't leave the motorhome to get help or just run away and forget it actually happened. This is because they can't open any of the doors because there's a wall in the way. They are stuck in their motorhome and their motorhome is stuck in an alleyway in Germany. This is why they're hooting the horn. I think some people have a fear of reversing a motorhome, which is probably what's happened here. They followed their sat-nav, seen the wall and the house getting closer and closer, but didn't fancy reversing back up the narrow road due to embarrassment or the fear of crashing into something, and just put their foot down and closed their eyes. Let us know whether you've had any tight squeezes with your motorhome or while you were towing your caravan in the doobly-doo. We've all got stories, and I know I certainly have. The Baltic Wharf Caravan and Motorhome Club site has opened its pitches for campers for the very last time. The Baltic Wharf campsite was located on the harbour side of Bristol with amazing views, high ratings on all of the social media and travel sites, and was one of the most popular sites in the country. So why has it closed for good after almost 50 years of being open? Well, the Caravan and Motorhome Club leased the land from the Bristol City Council, who will no longer renew the lease but instead will build 166 flats with shops and cafes. This decision has left loyal visitors heartbroken and locals concerned about the up-and-coming development. Yeah, 166 flats, that could mean a very tall block of flats or a group of them, turning a beauty spot into an eyesore. When the campsite closed, many people gathered for a tree funeral to protect the felling of about 70 mature trees. This included locals, various campaigners and a group of women called the Tree Brides who married the trees back in, yes, I said married the trees, back in 2021 in hope of protecting them. I wonder what their kids are like. Oh, here comes my little saplings, Woody, Forest, Ash and Little Willow. Ah. A statement on the club website says the club had been operating the campsite for several years on a renewable lease, and we were informed that, sadly, it was not going to be extended. Thank you to everyone who stayed with us at Baltic Wharf. There have been more reports and debates about motorhome and campervan parking, with growing calls for fines and bans. Most of the news I come across these days seems to be focused on restrictions or complaints about motorhomes being a nuisance. Here are a few examples. Frustrated Gwynedd locals are requesting van owners to park sensibly or face fines due to roads being blocked and laybys, seafronts and scenic spots being overrun by motorhomes. In North Yorkshire, there are renewed calls to ban motorhomes from parking on Saltburn-by-Sea's Marine Parade, even though the council recently scrapped a ban there. Locals have been reporting that there has been an increase in the number of motorhomes staying for long periods of time, and businesses worried about the lack of parking in the area. East Riding of Yorkshire Council has put up signs to discourage van owners from sleeping overnight on the seafront at Withensea. The move comes after large numbers of motorhomes have been parking there, and some reportedly staying for months at a time. Pembrokeshire County Council is considering cutting down how long you can stay overnight at Goodwick Moor car park near Fishguard Ferry Terminal to just one night. This comes after an original plan to open 4 motorhome-friendly car parks was cut to just this one, following complaints from local campsites that the scheme would damage their businesses. And a report commissioned by 50 campsite owners concluded that the Highland Council's campervan and motorhome scheme has caused a substantial loss of business, while creating a potential safety risks due to vanners using their facilities without paying for them. An MSP stated, "The Highland welcomes visitors with open arms, but unmanaged overnight parking is creating real problems for communities and small businesses." Since the pandemic, motorhome travel has grown in popularity, and more people are choosing to live in vans full time. Holidaymakers and van lifers alike need places to stay and safe places to dump waste. In Wiltshire, however, the council has been targeting van lifers specifically, issuing notices to move them on from Moulton Drive on Bradford-on-Avon, while not applying the same rules to short-term holidaymakers. There's a common misconception that motorhome owners don't spend money locally or contribute to the community. While it's true that many arrive with a stocked fridge, food runs out eventually and needs restocking. For example, on our 19-day tour of Germany, we spent over £300 on groceries and more than £400 on other items, not including fuel. When it comes to waste disposal, there's absolutely no excuse for dumping black waste into drains or leaving rubbish behind. But in our travels across Europe, we've never seen this happen. That's because proper facilities are widely available, either free or for a small fee, and there are plenty of apps showing you where to find them. I believe that with most things, outright bans just make the problem worse. If councils invested in proper parking and waste facilities, motorhomes wouldn't cause nearly as many issues. At least that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the doobly-doo. From the 12th of October 2025, the EU's new Entry-Exit System, or EES, will be introduced. The EES is a new digital border system that will change requirements for British citizens travelling to the Schengen area. The Schengen area covers 29 European countries, including France, Belgium, Germany, Spain, Italy, Greece, Austria, Denmark and the Netherlands. You're not allowed to stay in the Schengen area for more than 90 days in every 180 days. When travelling to a country in the Schengen area using a UK passport, you will be required to register your biometric details when you arrive. At the border, you will need to submit your fingerprints and have your photo taken at special booths. The EES registration is free and you don't have to do anything before you arrive at the border. If you're flying to a country in the Schengen area, the EES checks will occur when you arrive at your destination. If you enter the Schengen area through the port of Dover, Eurotunnel at Folkestone or St Pancras International, EES checks will be completed at the border before you leave the UK. Your EES record is valid for 3 years. If you enter the Schengen area again during this time, you'll only need to provide a fingerprint or a photo at the border when you enter and exit. The The EES is designed to improve border security within the EU and will replace the current system where they stamp your passports when you arrive. That doesn't sound so bad, does it? However, in 2026, the EU is expected to introduce the new European Travel Information and Authorisation System. No date has been set yet and no action is required by travellers at this moment. When this new system is introduced, you will need to apply for authorisation to enter the Schengen area if you're using a UK passport. You will need to provide personal information and details about your trip and pay a €20 fee as part of the authorisation process. Now, if we hadn't left the EU, we wouldn't have all these travel restrictions and costs. And let's not forget the rigmarole of taking your pets with you. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for. I'd love to know your thoughts on today's news. Let me know in the doobly-doo and don't forget to hit the like button. And if you don't want to miss the next exciting episode on Motorhome News, then hit that subscribe button to get future updates. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.